In Revenge of the Sith, Mace Windu is able to defeat Palpatine in a duel after going to his office to arrest him, cornering him against the end of the broken window and pointing his weapon at the Sith Lord's throat. However, Anakin Skywalker arrives before Mace has a chance to even attempt to kill Palpatine. This eventually results in Anakin's transformation into Darth Vader after he helps cause Mace Windu's death. But what if Mace was able to kill Palpatine before Anakin arrived on the scene? Without any further ado, let's begin with today's story. Our story begins inside the Chancellor's office as glass shards lay everywhere as a result of the fight between Darth Sidious and Mace Windu, as Mace stands tall, pointing his weapon towards the Sith Lord's face. He breathes heavily, locked in a moment of terrible clarity as Sidious lies defeated. Sidious, though, in a horrific moment, realizes through the Force that Anakin was not going to make it in time, as he was held up by a Republic security detail. Mace's eyes narrow, sensing the trembling of fate, and yet, there was no other choice. With a swift, final strike, Mace Windu beheads Darth Sidious. However, Anakin arrives not even a second afterwards. He races into the office, eyes wide with urgency. But what he sees halts him in place as Mace stands above the body, his saber slowly deactivating. Anakin whispers the word "no" as Mace turns, his expression unreadable as he told Anakin that he shouldn't be there. Anakin stares at the body of the only man he thought could save Padme. His breathing quickens as he says the words, "What have you done?" Mace's jaw tightens as his grip remained tight on his weapon, and told Anakin that he did what he needed to. Anakin's head shakes, torn between everything he's ever believed, crying out that Palpatine could have helped him. Mace, however, lowers his voice, stepping forward as Anakin clenches his fists, and he told Anakin the truth about what happened. Palpatine would not have helped Anakin with whatever he needed, but rather, he would have used Anakin for his own personal gain. Anakin flinches as if struck by this sudden revelation, as his gaze falls upon Palpatine once more. The silence between the two Jedi is thunderous. Anakin's mouth moves, but no sound comes out. The confusion in his eyes begins to fracture as a tear almost falls from his eyes, as if to mourn Palpatine as a friend. But Mace reminds Anakin, he was the Sith Lord. The two Jedi stood at the crossroads of destiny itself. Anakin's fists unclench slowly. The anger does not vanish, but it does give way to doubt. And that doubt, for once in Anakin's life, is not fed by the darkness. Mace studies Anakin, asking him what it was he was so afraid of. Anakin was taken aback by the question. He had absolutely no desire to say anything about his nightmares to anyone, especially not to Mace, considering Mace's treatment of him. But as soon as the thought of his nightmares came to his mind, Mace sensed it. He sensed Anakin's fears of the death of Senator Amidala. Anakin turned away. He hated that Windu could feel it, and he despised that he could see into him like that. Mace then told Anakin a very simple truth. The Force shows many things, but not certainties. It shows fear, hope, and possibility. The Sith knew how to use all three of these things against their enemies, and this was what made them dangerous. Anakin stared out into the city lights, admitting that yes, he would have done anything to stop Padme's death. Mace tells Anakin that he knows this, and that it was what Palpatine wanted, but he told Anakin that he understood his feelings, and that he too has an attachment that he would do anything to save. An attachment to the Republic itself. The words sank into Anakin slowly and painfully. Anakin's chest rose and fell with uneven breath. A moment passed, and then another. He didn't collapse, he didn't scream, he simply stood there. And then he made a very simple choice, as he then asked, "What happens from here?" Mace looked towards the broken window, towards the chaos of the Senate district, as he explained that they would tell the truth to the Senate. Across Coruscant, the Jedi Council gathers in an emergency council session. Yoda joins via holocall from Kashyyyk. Obi-Wan joins through a holocall fresh from his Venator, en route to Coruscant from Utapau. The Masters are stunned by the truth. Darth Sidious ruled the Republic in secret as Chancellor Palpatine. Mace then tells the Council that if it wasn't for Anakin discovering the truth, then the end of the war would certainly not have been possible. Anakin looks up in shock as Mace tells Anakin to move to the center of the room and kneel. Anakin does so, and is shocked when Mace ignites his lightsaber and grants him the rank of Master. The rank that he not only trained so hard for, but the rank he deserved. Meanwhile, Ahsoka's ship emerges from hyperspace above Coruscant. Maul, still imprisoned in a Mandalorian sarcophagus, trembles not with rage, but with fear. The moment of Sidious's death tears through the Force like a blade. He screams out in horror, telling Ahsoka that Sidious was the only thing holding back the darkness that was coming next. Ahsoka watches him through the containment field, disturbed by the sheer terror in his voice. No, this wasn't possible. Maul wanted him dead, Ahsoka said. No, he wanted to escape, Maul hissed, but not like this. Maul then tells Ahsoka that she has no idea what she had unleashed here today. She crosses her arms, calm but wary, as her mind then turned to Anakin. Maul said that Anakin Skywalker was the key to everything, Ahsoka said. Maul's voice drops, low and bitter, as he again states that Anakin was meant to fall to the darkness. Sidious saw it. Maul saw it. Anakin would have become the perfect weapon. But now, the Jedi had broken the script. Maul begins to laugh, manic and broken. You think you've saved the galaxy, but you've only delayed what's already begun. Meanwhile, Anakin returns to Padme and tells her everything. Palpatine's deception, the Jedi struggle, his own nearly fatal temptation. She holds his hand as he weeps, not for Palpatine, but for what might have been if Anakin had arrived earlier. Without Sidious, Order 66 is never given. The inhibitor chips in the clones are discovered, and after a lengthy process, they are all removed and destroyed, thanks in part to Ahsoka and Rex. The Senate reels at the news of Palpatine's double life. Bail Organa and Mon Mothma rally to restore democracy as Mon Mothma is elected as the new Supreme Chancellor. The Jedi Order, though shaken, survives, and they begin to change their ways. Because of this, Ahsoka returns to the Order with a little more convincing from Anakin, and she is reinstated as a Jedi Knight. Anakin, meanwhile, is not cast out from the Jedi Order. Instead, he becomes a bridge between old and new. Mace would look deeper into Anakin's relationship with Padme, and Obi-Wan, catching wind of this, informs Anakin and reveals to him that he had known of the marriage the whole time. Obi-Wan would then encourage Anakin to reveal the relationship to the Council, which, after a discussion with Padme on the matter, he does so with her by his side the next day. But instead of shame, the Council sees a lesson. Compassion does not lead to the dark side. secrecy, possessiveness, fear, and control do. So, Anakin is allowed to stay in the Order and keep his position as a Council Master. After the meeting, Padme goes into labor and gives a successful birth to the twins, Luke and Leia. Upon Anakin's request, the twins are allowed to stay in Anakin's quarters after Anakin prepares a big enough portion of the room as a nursery for them. Mace would decide to temporarily step down from his position on the Council, deciding to go on a journey to study the Force and to try to see what else needed to be fixed in the Jedi Order. Until Mace's return, Obi-Wan agrees to take his place as Master of the Order. Meanwhile, in the Jedi Temple prison, Maul sits cross-legged as the cell is dimly lit and as the walls hummed with energy. In his mind's eye, the future burns, not with Sidious's vision, but with chaos. He feels it, a void, left behind by the death of his former master. The darkness did not in fact die with Sidious, but instead, it festered. He sees flashes, visions in the Force, Republic worlds in revolt, fractured systems without leadership, black armored legions, not clones but something new, his own shadow collective, marching beneath crimson flags, a remnant Sith cult steeped in lost teachings of the ancient Sith, calling upon something new. A dark figure, not Sith, not Jedi, but corrupted, evil beyond description, and indescribably horrifying to the naked eye. As he prepared to be taken to the Republic prison hall so as to be executed for his crimes, Maul sensed it all. And the entire galaxy would soon be engulfed by chaos and consumed by fire. Well, folks, that's part 1 of our story today. Before we end, I'd just like to apologize for my disappearance. Things have been pretty crazy on my end, but rest assured, I'm still doing all I can to get videos out there. Link to both GoFundMes are in the description below. Yes, I started another one. Do comment your ideas for part 2 of What If Anakin Killed Obi-Wan as well. And comment your ideas for part 2 of this video as well. I'm sure I would really like to hear your ideas. Anyway, follow my Instagram at Star Wars Red Wing. Do leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later.